and it will be for the Women's WBO Flyweight Championship of the World. Brought to you by Frank Warren on behalf of Queensberry Promotions in association with the Cayenne Prince Foundation, along with their great sponsors, 32 Red and Foot Asylum. It is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, steward in charge, Des Rees, along with the World Boxing Organization President Francisco Paco Valcarcel, supervisor tonight, Beate Posca, timekeeper Steve Pucci. Our three judges scoring on a 10-point must system will be Howard Foster of England, Mihai Leu of Romania, and Ingo Barrabas of Germany. Our referee in charge will be Phil Edwards of England. Introducing to you first the challenger, fighting tonight out of the red corner. She's wearing the colors of Mexico, green, white, and red, and weighed in at 7 stone, 12 pounds. Coming to us from Saltillo, Coahuila de Zaragoza, Mexico, she brings a professional record consisting of 21 wins, 7 defeats, 3 draws, with 7 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Maria La Favorita Salinas. And her opponent across the ring, she is the defending world champion, fighting tonight out of the blue corner. She's wearing gold with white and black and weighed in at 7 stone, 13 pounds. Hailing from Leeds, Yorkshire, England, she was a gold medalist at both the 2012 and 2016 Olympics, and now as a professional, she is undefeated with 5 wins. 3 of her 5 wins come by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the reigning and defending Women's WBO Flyweight Champion of the World, Nicola the Lioness Adams.
Okay, you've had your instructions in the dressing room. You know what I expect of you. Defend yourselves at all times. Touch gloves. Good luck. Good luck.
Great reception for Nicola Adams. The crowd remembering, of course, her brilliance as an amateur. And now in her 6th professional contest up against the Mexican Maria Salinas. Favorita, who is having her 4th crack at winning the world title. She's a come-forward type. She will trade on aggression. She prides herself on her strength. Nicola Adams, for my way of looking at it, looked a little bit drained at the weigh-in yesterday. And if there are any questions about whether or not she's comfortably made the weight, then Salinas might just have the sort of style which will test her the further the fight goes.
Well, that could be the point, but I noticed something straight away. The way Salinas leans over that front foot, the right uppercut, it might be the punch there for Adams to potentially finish the fight, because she puts herself so far over that front foot. She's so far off balance, Salinas. That right uppercut will be a trick and a treat there for Adams.
Nicola said at the press conference earlier this week that, in her opinion, Salinas coming straight at her in pretty much straight lines and being front foot aggression would be made for her. She'd be able to move and to counter, to use her speed and her agility, and really able to make it her fight. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, and you would think that would be true, but you have to make people pay for their mistakes. So every time she goes forward and overreaches and misses, you've got to pop her with a jab, throw that uppercut, throw a little flurry, spin off to the left. You have to make her pay and make her panic.
And worth saying as well that in her last fight, Nicola Adams, although ultimately getting a unanimous decision against another Mexican, Isabel Milan, she did have some difficulty getting there. It was a very, very grueling fight the further it went, and she won by margins of 2 rounds and 4 rounds, subsequently upgraded as champion when Rayleigh Messino sustained long-term injuries.
trying to come forward there. Nice little right hand to finish the round there on Salinas, but I thought a good round there for Nicola Adams.
All you've got to do is a walk test. You go shielding. Right, relax. Your timing's perfect. Yeah. You did everything you're supposed to, lull on her, but just get your jab working. All she's doing is swinging. So you gotta go stab, pull back, stab, pull back. Yeah. Let her swing first, or stab and stand back, let her swing, then counter again. Walk away. When she's stood, or she's at a burst at you, let her go off the burst and ping her again in between. Right? But you did everything right, you locked it out, you took it to the rope. So all you gotta do, lock her, walk her to the rope, referee breaks, stand back and you got ping, ping. Nice and straight.
Right, okay. Nicola Adams now with trainer Dominic Ingle.
And they stood her in a trap. Listen, stick to that. Easy, simple, nothing hard. Yeah?
You give it that first round clearly enough, Barry?
Second out.
Yes, John.
Round 2.
I think Salinas is trying to come forward, but I think she sort of mapped out the plan of what she wants to do, and it's going to be predictably in straight lines, and I think Adams picked it off, and I think she can do that all night if she wants to, but it's down to Adams now, is for what I've seen so far, that she's the one who maybe has to impose herself on Salinas and try and push her back. And not always with brute strength, with skill and movement and precise punching.
Trying to whip up that right uppercut that you were predicting there, not able to find the target that time.
That's nice, very nice right hand, and left took the finish. She's got to be careful when she gets close like that. She sort of extends her arms there, Adams, trying to keep Salinas at bay, but when both your arms are extended, your chin is exposed, so use the footwork just to little pivots.
Salinas getting in with a little left hand there. She's been a pro since 2008, and yes, she's got 7 defeats on that record of 31 fights, but she's only been stopped on one occasion. That was a couple of years ago by Kenya Enriquez when she was beaten or really outpowered. She was done with a body shot on that occasion.
She's game, she's trying to come forward, but again, there's no real thought behind it. A little bit clumsy. But Adams, even though she's picking it off a little bit, not really taking full advantage of some of the errors that Salinas is making.
The last title shot actually was nominated as WBO Women's Fight of the Year when she lost a split decision to Vecino last September.
Well, you can see the way she fights. If you stand in front of her willing to trade, it looks like she can take a good shot. Good right hand there. And it looks like she'll have a real good terror.
That's what she wants. She wants to turn this one into a brawl. Somehow get Nicola Adams out of her stride.
Not to forget the jab here now, Nicola Adams.
That's what she did forget, I think, against Isabel Milan. There's 2 rounds gone. Welcome back to the Royal Albert Hall. Lovely to be able to say that. World Championship boxing. There's our champion, Nicola Adams.
Yeah, again, she's not doing that. She's not really imposing herself yet on Salinas, but she's picking it off when Salinas makes a few mistakes. I think she has to just increase that intensity ever so slightly now as the rounds go on here. There'll be an improvement there for Adams.
2-minute rounds. I know that Nicola Adams prefers 3-minute rounds, but that's the way it is in WBO World title fights into the 3rd, and it's a 10 rounds, 2-minute rounds. Trains in the famous Winkerbank gym, often spars with Kid Galahad. There's a good left hand from Salinas.
And a decent left hook as well from Adams, I thought. And just the beginning of the round there, she just took a little half a steps back, Adams, before she threw the shots. And that's the right idea. Just remember, if you go back more than two steps, you've got to take that little pivot off to the side. Once you get yourself here.
That's it from Salinas.
That's right hand there, wasn't it, from Salinas?
Yeah, I'm not sure that sparring Kid Galahad really prepares you for this sort of a fight, but sparring somebody like Danny Hodges, who's a small female fighter who keeps coming. She's a strong, aggressive type. That is more what she needed.
Yeah, of course, but you know, Galahad's a talent enough fighter to change his style to probably help Adams out here. I think she's just doing winning the exchanges here. Adams just want to be careful to get set into a rhythm of mixing it with Salinas. Just keep it nice and long, keep that footwork in play.
Salinas will be only too happy. She'll be only too happy with the in which she's been able to, perhaps not exactly dictate, but she's certainly been able to drag Nicola Adams more into her fight here in this third.
Yeah, she's having a better round. I don't think she's doing enough here, Salinas. I don't think she's getting picked off as she comes forward, but she's having a better round. Nice uppercut there from Adams. Just needs a quick on the feet of Salinas. Little feint and then dart in. Nice little left hook there as well from Adams.
Three judges watching on, doing the scoring. German judge Ingo Barabbas, a Romanian judge, and the esteemed Howard Foster, who's sitting very close to him. And he won't, if he'd been the referee, have liked that too much, and Phil Edwards doesn't either.
Well, he's called break, the referee, and well, I think he called break, and Salinas kept punching.
Clash of heads maybe, and then called break, and that was it. Well, a bit of confusion, but maybe another round for Nicola Adams.
You're not going to do anything. Yeah, lovely now. Just when you need her up, go and turn and push into the nearest goal. Understand? You're winning this easy. Right, don't make it hard. Understand? She's only running, she works for a minute, that's it. You've only got to get through the first minute, popping in with a jab, then the second minute is when you give it her. Put her across the chest. Go. Come on, world champion this. Understand? She's not in your league, she's going after a minute. So take your time and believe in your ability. Do you understand? You've got it. Just take your time.
Believe in your ability, but Salinas certainly had her moments in that round.
She did earlier in the round. I think Dominic Ingles correct though. You pepper her with the jab for the first half of the round. She'll tire herself out chasing you, and then you go to work. That's it. The referee called break, and Salinas never heard that until a three-punch combination, and where Adams obviously put her hands on and stopped. But as they say, protect yourself at all times. But the referee was right to tell off the Mexican, of course.
Barry's got it 3-0 on his scorecard. And another laying down of the law from Phil Edwards. That's how Barry's got it. That third round was certainly closer, but Barry giving it to Nicola Adams. So 3-0.
That's a good shot with right hand. That's where Salinas wants it, and even though not much success about Salinas, the rallying is the right idea, trying to smother everything that Adams can counter with. Get that head on Adams' chest and work away. Nice right hook there from Salinas.
Salinas prepared to get the head low and kind of charging in, winging hooks from both flanks. Southpaw, of course, which makes it doubly awkward.
It just makes it a little bit harder to establish the jab, but being the taller fighter, you should be punching over that right hand anyway. That's nice there from Adams, lovely right uppercut. Just needs to up the work rate a little bit here, Adams. Certainly as the round goes on, but she's allowed Salinas here, just a bit of momentum. That's lovely from Salinas. Lovely right hand and a left hook to finish that little combination.
Right hand again from Salinas, and there's just a little bit of an uncertainty about Nicola Adams right now.
Well, because Adams not using the jab, Salinas is allowed to walk too close to the target, and then when Adams takes a step back, she's not far enough away. That jab gives you a little bit of range, to dictate the pace and the movement.
3 years since a Rio triumph. There's been some talk about her going to Tokyo, but I think that's now disappeared somewhere over the horizon. I don't think that's going to happen now.
You wouldn't think so, but in this day and age where the professionals can still go back to the Olympics, who knows?
Well, for me, that's around for Salinas. Would you agree?
Yeah, I'm in a total agreement with you there for the change.
Antonio Hernandez in that corner.
Just getting dragged in, you're making a stupid job. Understand? You've got to try and jab and pull back and move away.
Quieter words of advice for Nicola Adams.
I thought that was a better right hand there from Adams, but she just allowed Salinas to get close by neglecting that jab, allowing the Mexican, to all her credit, kept trudging forward. Not a lot of guile in her work, but it's effective. It certainly wasn't that level for her.
Don't do it, just take your time. Right, all she's doing is throwing pace at you. Just get her foot under control with a couple of jabs. Yes. But just make sure you're throwing them. You've got to be pins left, right. Try not to be...
Round 5. There was just a little bit of a muttering in 1 or 2 quarters about just how well Nicola Adams had actually made the weight for this and whether it had been a real battle. Well, if that is the case, the further this fight goes, then maybe that will be a factor.
Well, sometimes when you don't make weight correctly, sometimes you find out the weight you do something wrong or out the time. You don't always make the weight as correct as you should. Then not so much your strength, it's your timing that's off and your sharpness. You're a little bit lethargic, and the way Adams boxes, she needs to be as sharp and the timing needs to be on point.
She started neatly in the first couple of rounds, but Salinas certainly coming into it more now.
It's better than Adams there, but just make sure that jab comes back as fast as it goes out. Leaving it there could cause a problem, especially against a southpaw who likes to come forward. So a little more snap in that jab. She's making Salinas miss here with the first minute of this round. Good from Salinas.
Those hooks to the body will be taking a little bit out of Nicola Adams.
Nice uppercut there from Adams, and Salinas again leading over that front foot. Justin Adams needs to bend the legs a little bit more when she throws that uppercut. A little bit more weight, a little more purchase on the shot. She just can't. Don't just sit on the success and be happy with that. You've got to keep going about your work.
Good left hand from Salinas. Stumbled in a little bit clumsily, but clipped Adams with the left as she did.
Well took there from Salinas.
Close round again.
Perfect, yeah? That's what you got to do. Keep breathe. Perfect. That was beautiful, that boxing. There she's getting tired and getting desperate. But all she's trying to do now is back into the corner so you can load. So when she backs you up, W and just move off. If I tell you to walk away, you can walk away because you're winning the round. Understand? You've got to take a little bit at the end there. If you're going to walk away, soon you want to go call. That's all it is. All kids not getting it. Easy. Come on, you're halfway through this. Understand? She's getting tired and you're warming up. Just keep beating that jab cut. You can't miss. You can't miss with that killer jab. Understand? You keep breaking.
Well, he's trying to give a bit of a rallying cry in that Nicola Adams corner. You gave that last round to Nicola Adams, but I didn't have a lot between them.
No, I just thought she did the cleaner work. I think Salinas came on a little bit at the end, but still for me, I think for the most part, she was picking her up when she's coming forward. Okay, it's not massively conclusive, John, but I think it's just enough for me.
Not quite producing her usual sparkle so far. Dominic Ingalls saying that he thought that Salinas was tiring and that she could come on strong now. Well, whether that's just a bit of kidology, a bit of psychology, well, we will see.
It doesn't look like to me. She looks a little bit one-paced, maybe Salinas, but it doesn't look like she's faltering at all, to be fair.
Not at all. Well, that's how Barry's got it by 3 points. Third and the fifth were closer than the opening two.
Good start of the round here from Salinas. And again, Adams not throwing that jab. Salinas starting to get close. It's crude, but as I said already, though, but it's slightly effective.
She's just in danger of getting out-hustled.
The right hand over there.
Certainly not the firecracker display that she maybe was hoping that she was going to produce, at least not so far.
For the fight there was so much reach and obviously height on good from Salinas. She's not using it to her advantage. The straight shot should be what's really taking her home tonight. she's been making this girl really bob and weave and struggle to get out the way of those long shots. And even though I think she's winning the fight, she hasn't quite done that.
Is she winning this round? I'm not convinced about that.
Well, I think she is. I think she's, it's a good shot there from Adams. But
A single shot, though.
yeah, I think Salinas is, again, improved, but I think she's out-hustled Adams out of this round, especially the early part.
She's been able to make it into her fight in this round. And that was not a great round for Nicola Adams. Maybe the gap closing there. 4 rounds to go. It's a tricky one to second-guess judges, but the aggressor right the way through that round, and the more meaningful shots seem to be coming from the little Mexican.
Yeah, I thought she settled a little bit at the end of the round there, Adams, but I think the early part of the round, Salinas came out a little bit faster and sharper. I think she did enough to warrant the 10 points for that one.
Come on, 4 rounds. Yeah. You're winning this at least 5-1.
What a venue it is here. Absolutely packed. And our main event involving the British heavyweight champion Daniel Dubois against Ebenezer Tete, Commonwealth heavyweight title, top of the bill. That concluding things this evening. So 7th round, if Salinas takes everything from here, it could still be a very awkward night for Nicola Adams. And she needs to just start to establish herself again, at least to my way of looking.
She's still a good shot, good left hook. No panic stations for me, I don't think. I think just a little bit busier, and I think she skates long. She's clearly technically the better of the two, but she's just not maybe using some of those advantages as much and as often as she should. Again, Salinas coming forward, but squaring up, not really landing, and Adams been able to tee off with a nice little left hook. Good response there from Salinas. Left hook to the body with the right hand over the top. It was a cracking little shot.
Adams has had a sort of stop-start professional career, nearly a year since she's fought. She's had injury problems, relationship problems, her mother's not been well. It's not really been all smooth sailing by any means.
Had a better round here for me though, Adams. Yeah, she's kicked it off, but she's come forward there, the little half step back, and you see there, he's worked for her in this round quite effectively. She's had to ship a few shots again though in this round, but still, I think up to this point has been relatively comfortable. She's still not using the jab, and I still think that's a worry. Not being able to stop this girl on the tracks before she gets too close.
Well, another round maybe for Nicola Adams.
I think clearly for Nicola Adams, to be honest, John, I know she controlled things there. Even though she was also moving back, I know she controlled things there with good countering skills, good movement with the feet. You see that nice little clipping left hook that was earlier on in the round. Salinas landed with a couple of shots as she has in pretty much every round, but not very effective at all.
Was sounded before this fight began, and immaculately observed by the 5,000 crowd, the two real giants of what was once known as Fleet Street, who passed away recently, Ken Jones of the Mirror, of the Sunday Mirror, and the Independent. He died earlier this week, and recently as well the death of the former Times and London Evening Standard writer Neil Allen, both real boxing men and both missed.
Nice little right hand off the ropes there from Adams. Has to take another shot there off Salinas. That's better from Salinas. A little bit of rhythm in the work. Get those shoulders moving. And head rolling. Good right hook there from Salinas.
Salinas will keep coming. She's nothing if not game.
Talk about game, she took a lovely right hand there off Adams, shrugged it off and landed with a right hook of her own.
That's a long pro career. She's only been stopped for once, and that was with body shots. That's going to call her getting excited. Stinky look of concentration on the face of Nicola Adams. Right hand from Salinas.
Yeah, a nice left hand from Adams, to be fair, but again, Adams, maybe the cleaner shot, but I think she's been more hustled again for me in this round so far. So it's only halfway gone, just past.
I'll tell you what, Barry, there's still time to go, and she may well be winning the fight, but for me, Nicola Adams has just looked a little bit flat tonight.
She looks a little bit lethargic, maybe. You've got to give Salinas some credit for that, but good right left hand there from Salinas. Yeah, she doesn't look the sharpest, does she, as we've seen in the past. A little bit laboured with some of the shots. It's still enough of Bauer to, for the most part, picking up the rounds and picking up the points, but not in this round.
Quality right hand in there, as you were speaking.
I still think Salinas has had the better of this round for me. I think she's, again, the crudeness, but she still hustled it.
Crude and outworked her, yeah, definitely. Still in with a chance, maybe. 2 rounds to go.
Necesito perfección estos 2 rounds. Si ganas estos 2, la pelea es tuya. La mona está fundida. Vamos.
Just a 2-point margin now on Barry's card between the two of them, and Salinas narrowing the gap in that round, the way we saw it.
Good quality shot there from Salinas, but because the commitment of Salinas, she throws one shot, she lands it, and she throws 3 others, follows it up, and for me, Adams landed with some good shots in that round, but she just needs to be a little bit more proactive and a little bit busier with her work.
She's going to throw herself for half a minute, just try and get under control for half a minute.
She's the older fighter as well, Nicola Adams, by nearly 7 years, coming up 37 now. Maria Salinas, 30.
Seconds out, round 9.
2 rounds remaining in this WBO Flyweight title, and Salinas straight away trying to chase Adams down.
Well, Salinas needs 2 big rounds. Adams just needs 1 round, and then she can skate home. So, on my card anyway, that's the way I see it. But
now she'd love to be able to just jab and move and keep her at range like this.
she should be. So that should have been the plan from the offset. It's more difficult against a southpaw, of course.
Caught off balance.
Good there from Adams, actually, good right hand.
There was a right hand came back from Salinas, wasn't there?
And just switched southpaw for a second, and got 2 straight shots from her. Nice left hook there as well. You know Salinas is coming forward. I think Adams there landed with the cleaner punches. Just needs to pivot off, that's all. Make it a little bit more obvious when she lands with a good shot. Get that clear distance between her and her opponent.
So many fans watching on, I'm sure, and who are here tonight wanted to see a real virtuoso performance from Adams, and she's had problems right the way through against the stocky, aggressive fighter.
Lovely right hand there from her, and then the movement there, just skipping off. That's good work.
Good from Salinas.
It is Adams she blocked 4 punches, and then rather than throw back, she waited too long and had to take one there. Good left hand there from Salinas.
Ducks in and throws her punches very wide, doesn't she? She's a crude sort of fighter.
Yeah, but committed, and you have to admire that in many senses, because she's been outskilled.
Good from Adams there. She switches southpaw in the closing seconds, and surely taking that round.
Here we are again, just sitting there. He's going to kill you in this next round. Understand? Don't give it her. You know why? This is about 2 rounds in it, so you make sure you win this round. Understand? You got to be smart. You got to be cleaning away. You got to box. You got to box on your toes, smart. Yeah. Okay. You can forget about everything. Yeah. Another one. Go, quick. This is it now, Nicola. Last round. She's going to have a war with you. Don't have a war with you. box, smart.
Murray's got it 6-3 to Nicola Adams, but you can hear from Dominic Ingle in the corner. He's saying there may only be a couple of rounds in it, and who knows? I mean, on my card, a couple of those rounds were close, and if they've gone the other way, then you never know.
Yeah, but I think he feels that they're doing enough to win, and you know, a couple of rounds in it is roughly about right, isn't it?
So final round. Adams needs to win this one to make sure. At least the way we see it.
No, actually, the way I'm scoring it, she's just got to be safe in this round. That's all she needs to do. But yeah, I think you know, just for perception, I think she comes out and wins the round. But you're right. I think you mentioned it very early in the fight, John. She didn't look great the way in possibly, and you know, she looked a little bit flat and maybe just a little bit lethargic. But then you can't take away the commitment and the effort of Salinas. Good right hand there from Adams.
She's kind of come on strong again, Adams, in the last 2 or 3 rounds. She had a dodgy spell in the middle rounds when maybe she was worrying about having to go the 10-round distance.
Yeah. It was good there from Adams. So just switched southpaw then and landed with a right-left, straight-left combination. Just pushing Salinas back for the first time in the fight, to be fair.
Here comes Salinas, though. Last gasp effort. She'll try and give everything at Adams in the closing minute of this fight.
So you get credit for constantly coming forward, but it doesn't win you a fight unless you score with effective punches. And I think sometimes for Salinas, she hasn't always landed with the clean enough shots to get the nod for the effort that she's produced.
Romanian judge, German judge and a British judge officiating on this one, and it's surely now going to go the distance.
Good response there from Adams, because she got clipped with a nice little right hook there from Salinas. It's good work for Salinas. She's in the right roll, she rolled twice, she should have come back with a hook. There's Salinas. Wasted the movement there, she did.
The styles of this fight were quite clear from early doors. There's a nice right-hand counter from Adams. Salinas right in her face up to the final bell, looking for one big shot, not able to find it. And 10 rounds over. Barry giving the final round to Nicola Adams, meaning that on our card, Adams will retain the title.
She will, but she didn't look as sharp as we've seen her in the past, and maybe because she stepped up in levels, or she was maybe struggling for the weight, lethargic, or just one of those things. But you know, I think she still did enough for me to get the win. I think she just had to clean the work from her. But the effort from Salinas was great. She forced Adams, you know, to work hard, or put her under pressure constantly in every round, and to lose credit for that, but not enough for me to take the title.
Well, the Mexican corner, as you saw, think that she's won it. They've been cheering their fighter around the ring, and there were 1 or 2 anxious questions as to how we'd got it from the Adams connections, wondering whether she'd done enough. It's a subjective thing, boxing, and we've given it to the British champion, but you never know. You never know.
No, you don't ever know, but I still think, you know, even though Salinas is coming forward, I still think that it's not enough. No, I don't think the work was always effective enough or clean enough to get the nod in some of those closer rounds, and Adams was, even though always on the retreat, I think she was picking it off quite effectively for the most part, but didn't look great. Didn't look as sharp as she had in the past.
She had that flat spell in the middle, and you know, I mean, I thought she looked awful at the weigh-in yesterday. You know, I really thought that she looked as though she'd struggled with the weight, and a lot of people were saying that. And I just wonder whether she was worried at one stage about the fact that she was going to have to go the distance.
Yeah, because maybe that could be the case. Because maybe some parts in that round she needed to be a little bit busier with the work, and obviously, you know, having the reach and the height and the skills all in her favour, you tend to think that she could have upped the pace with a straighter, cleaner shots, and she sort of waited too long at times, allowed Salinas into the fight. But I still, ultimately for me, she still did enough to win by a 3-point margin.
Well, she looks happy enough. She thinks that she's got it. I think Thomas Treiber has got the all-important document clutched in his hand. Phil Edwards draws the 2 fighters together, and we can find out now whether we have still got a world champion in Nicola Adams, or whether the story has had a little bit of a falter. Here's Thomas Treiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of boxing, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Ingo Barrabas scores it 96 to 94 in favor of Maria Salinas. Judge Mihai Leu scores it 97 to 93 in favor of Nicola Adams. And Judge Howard Foster scores it 95 to 95. This bout is a split draw.
Well, how about that? It is a draw. Salinas thinks that she's got the wrong end of the stick there. The Mexican corner disgusted. They think that she won it. We thought that Nicola Adams won it. Well, the judges, you heard how it was by 2 rounds for 1. For Ingo Barabbas, for Salinas, for the Romanian judge, that went to Nicola Adams. Howard Foster scored it level, so it comes out as a draw, and the crowd saying what they think, and they're applauding Maria Salinas. They, I think, are under the impression that Nicola Adams is extremely fortunate to retain that belt, which is over her shoulder.
Thank you very much indeed, Paul. Nicola, you've successfully retained your title, but not, I suspect, in the manner that you hoped for. A split draw. What are your thoughts? What are
with my belt.
When and where would you like the rematch to take place against your opponent, against tonight's opponent?
Oh, I'd love to be able to go to Leeds with my title. Like I said, I'll have to sit down with the coaches and Frank and see where we go from here. But I'd have the rematch.
Well, we look forward to it. You're still the champion, and we look forward to your next outing. Many thanks, Nicola.
Thank you.